Well, at least it's not coronet this time.
It's an improvement.
Ah! Oh.
Opa Gangnam Style.
Has someone got like a little hand organ or something? Or joining it? Canada, apparently.
This is Canada's fault.
Hey, Canada! Hey, Canada!
Yeah, when Canada goes weird, it goes full weird.
Yeah, they couldn't sell it, so they're just giving it away now, so.
Mm. Coronet Films. They make everything, don't they?
A box of tissues.
A long, long time ago,
In a galaxy
when my
far, far
grandfather
away.
was just a boy,
Exactly.
his home was a little cabin in a beautiful, secluded place called Cozy Valley.
Perfect plate.
He had a favorite story about the animals in the valley. A story about Doc Owl, that wise old bird, and Rowdy the Crow, that noisy one. Buttons the Squirrel, she was in the story too.
Get married.
And so were Ringtail the
Hitler!
Raccoon, Snoozy the Possum,
Oh,
Mrs. Beaver and her twins, and Grandfather's
I
favorite.
don't want to hear about Mrs. Beaver's
Velvet the
twins,
Fawn.
okay? That's just... Ugh.
Then there was
Andy's
Mischief
grown
the
like this.
Fox,
If,
Whoa.
wouldn't,
that
if Andy's mom
troublesome
died?
rascal who was always hungry. And there were some other animals too. But
They looked really
the
concerned
And the
about that
rest.
fox.
old story, just the way my grandfather used to tell it to me about the animals of Cozy Valley. He called his story How the Animals Discovered Christmas.
Oh, the revised edition.
right.
Oh.
It was a clear.
They had to cut out a
starlight
couple of
night.
those bits.
The
So it's not
enchanted
exactly
night
as his
before
grandfather
Christmas.
told him. It's revised.
All
Yeah.
was quiet in our valley.
Grandpa went a little off on
Doc
Mrs.
Owl
Beaver
was
and
taking
her
a nap
twins
in
for a
his oak
while.
tree
It was really
when he
kind of
heard
nasty.
something and asked his favorite question. Who?
Who are you?
Who?
Who?
Well, who was it that woke him up? It was Velvet the Fawn, going along the path that went near our cabin.
Staring at the sky for the inevitable doom coming.
He stopped to look. Inside, we were bustling about, getting ready for Christmas. Oh, I remember it so well.
Apparently with their electronic folk band.
Velvet came close and looked into the window. He saw me decorating the tree. But of course, he'd never seen a Christmas tree before, with lights and ornaments.
So he's a stalker, I think.
Then I happened to notice him. When he saw I was watching him, he bounded away.
He
Found-
remembers
He kept
that I
running
had
till he reached
my-
his favorite hideaway in the spruce trees. He was about to lie down when... What was that? A bird? A bluebird?
The plane?
What was
Don't
he
sit
doing in
there.
our valley in the winter? He should have flown south. But then Velvet could see that this bluebird had a broken wing.
Oh.
Very gently, he lifted the bluebird up, and away they went.
You know,
So gently snow covered the screen.
Velvet headed for the oak tree where old Doc Owl
You know, in
lived.
real life, you just eat the bird.
Deer don't eat birds.
Well,
Oh,
it
yes,
was a
they
bluebird,
do.
That's who.
Don't
And he
ruin
needed
this
help.
for me.
So Doc Owl said he'd spread the news.
Hey, but
Down he flew to the home of Buttons the squirrel.
No, owls do eat squirrels, right?
That
Yes.
woke her up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Doc Owl said, "We've got
an
an
owl
injured
eats squirrel
bluebird
world."
and need some help." Buttons agreed to get the other animals, and Doc
Doc
Owl said
said-
he'd watch
Whoa!
over the bluebird.
Yeah.
Oh.
well,
Doc kept the bluebird warm,
And
while
holding him
Buttons
to
went
his
pick up
crotch.
The rest of the animals.
it's
She pulled Scamper the rabbit out of his hole
the
under the
Nutcracker?
old oak. Then she scurried over to get Snoozy the possum.
hooray for public domain.
Buttons probably impressed.
For squirrels, every day is the
And then she
nutcracker.
pulled and pulled. Oh, what a problem that sleepyhead was. Finally, Buttons pushed.
What?
And that did it.
Is disrupting the delicate.
Meanwhile, Scamper the rabbit raced to the old stone fence to get Ringtail the raccoon. Scamper explained about the bluebird with the broken wing.
All of the names make
Would
sense except for
Ringtail help?
Buttons.
Scamper the raccoon
Good.
didn't give a fuck.
Ringtail would come.
Nope, didn't care. Nope.
Scamper's next stop was Mrs. Beaver's house on the frozen pond.
Pow, 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 pow.
Mrs. Beaver said she'd help, but she'd have to bring her twins, too.
Oh, you
Oh,
bring those
please.
twins.
On his way
Never
back,
mind.
Scamper
And,
took
you
the
know.
path that went by our cabin.
Leave those twins at
I
home.
know he saw our tree and heard our Christmas
So one
music.
stalker wasn't enough.
Meanwall,
It-
Buttons
they-
was
they
on the
always
way
come
to
in
call
herds.
Rowdy the Crow.
It's never just
when
one.
Suddenly, there was Mischief the Fox.
Hello, children.
Buttons could reach a
Spoiler
tree.
alert.
Just then, Rowdy began calling to attract Mischief. Mischief jumped and missed.
Getting flashbacks to the
Buttons
Water
saw her
Down
chance,
cartoon.
and up she went,
Wow.
safe and sound. Finally, Doc Owl and all the animals were gathered.
That bird is
Now.
dead inside.
How could they help the injured bluebird?
Stop
through
staring
the
right at
winter?
the camera.
Doc Owl was in charge, since he was the wisest one. They could all see that the bluebird could never fly south this year. He
Just fly in
needed a
circles
warm
with
place
one
to
wing.
stay until his broken wing could heal. Who?
Uses a giant ass sword and
Who? Doc Owl asked who could provide a home for the
some
bluebird.
meteor and just kill us all.
None of the animals had a home big enough for the bluebird to exercise his wing when it healed. He'd need a snug, warm home. A home safe from Mischief the Fox. A home
Stop
that
staring into my
was...
soul!
And then Doc Owl thought of it.
Breaking the fourth
course.
wall, man.
There was one place, and he pointed the way.
Without looking.
Oh,
That owl deserves an Oscar.
They all knew
greatest
where it
actor
was.
of his
The
generation.
home of Grumbles the bear. It was a
Greatest actor
big
of the
cave,
film, surely.
almost closed by a
Wouldn't take
snowdrift.
much.
Who would volunteer to shovel? Who?
I love how he points
Ooh.
without looking.
I'll do it, said Mrs. Beaver.
Just flawless
Where's my tail?
animation.
The twins helped too, and pretty
Really
soon
fond
they
of
could
that
hear
effect.
Grumble snoring.
Hey, how else are you gonna
They had
transition?
to wake him up
Oh,
so they could explain
just can't
about
bear
the
this.
bluebird and his broken wing. Grumble said he'd be willing to let the bluebird share his warm cave.
Okay, wait a minute.
until
You're
spring.
giving a baby
Could they
bluebird
use this handkerchief
To a
as
bear.
bandage? Grumbles had found it one day while picking.
Okay, I
berries.
might not say the deer would eat the bird,
And in
but the
return,
bear?
The bluebird's wing was carefully
Yeah,
wrapped.
The bear's a
He tried
doctor.
to sing a song of thanks, but
just barely.
He's just winging it. He's a quack.
and so, very quietly, old Doc Owl led the animals out of Grumble's cave.
Always looks at the screen. Now everybody's
Now
doing
he
it.
suggested they should gather some food for the bluebird
Stop
and something
judging
for him
me!
to sleep on. So that is what they did. Velvet uncovered some soft moss.
That's
in
right,
the
dig with your
bluebird's
nose.
bed. Scamper got the carrots he had saved.
they don't know what that bird is going to be dead that day.
Buttons had
I
some
don't
sweet
think they know how
blueberries.
biology works.
He brought his dried
We're
sunflower
gonna draw
seeds,
straws to see who's gonna chew it up and
Those
spit it out for
aren't-
him.
and Snoozy
Those
dug
weren't
out some dried
sunflowers, though.
apples. Mrs. Beaver bit off some
The
purple
bird's not
dogwood
very
berries,
smart. Just give him a break.
and Ringtail brought 2 sweet potatoes.
Oh, I bet he.
They were putting their food near a little tree near Grumble's cave when Scamper looked at the tree and remembered something. Why not hang the food where the bluebird would see it on the tree?
That is a murder
like the one
face. I'm
he'd seen in our
sorry.
cabin.
Gonna see that in my nightmares for
Soon
months.
they were hanging up their gifts, making a game of it.
You know, if I saw all the animals doing this outside my house, I
And in no time at all, they had added bittersweet berries the color of flame.
I think you
The
just got
dried
completely
sunflowers
censored out
and
of what
all
you
the
were,
other
you were about to
The
say
Beaver
there.
twins had brought some icicles, and there in the moonlight, the little tree gleamed. But now it was late, and they were tired. Doc suggested that they turn in and come back in the morning to show the bluebird what they had done.
They hung their food all over a tree. Why would they do this?
I was gonna say, they just decorated it with their food.
they didn't even
On
give
his
it to
way
the bird.
home,
It's just
Velvet went bounding along the path that passed near our cabin
so that he'd be able
when
to
he
hear
heard
it.
something. There. Reindeer. reindeer,
Reindeer.
much like Velvet
Reindeer.
himself.
Reindeer.
They were harnessed to a beautiful red sleigh filled with toys
Totally
and
original
packages.
plot element here.
The reindeer told
I'm sorry,
Velvet
but
it was
that's supposed to be
Christmas
parked
Eve.
on the roof.
That
Right now, it's
wondrous night
illegally
when
parked in
people
front of the
exchanged
house.
gifts to show their love for one
Yeah,
another.
he's gonna get a ticket for that.
Anyway, just as they were getting better acquainted,
He just
Wait, he didn't-
Velvet didn't
Okay.
wait to see more.
No chimney.
When he
No.
reached
Santa
really bad
used to be a
Santa.
lot
the
more
blue bells
casual
again.
than he is
There
these
above
days.
him were the reindeer and sleigh.
Oh, that's
Apparently-
killer animation.
Don't move their legs when flying. More aerodynamic that way.
It's really just a
gonna say-
giant jump.
It was
It's
early
not really
Christmas
flying.
Yeah.
and the tree near Grumble's cave
Leaps and
sparkled in the
bounds.
morning light. It was time to call the bluebird.
What's sparkling?
The carrots, Alex.
It's the
Carrots
ecstasy.
sparkle like
It's just
vampires.
He was still sleeping until he saw the gifts on the tree.
Someone give me a bird.
Then
the
Mrs.
hell was
Beaver
that?
offered the bluebird her flat tail as a sled.
Could really go for a
Around the tree, she
one-winged
pulled it.
bird right now. Yeah.
All the animals were
eat
delighted to
that?
see how happy the bluebird was. In fact, they were all having so much fun, they didn't notice Mischief the fox. But he saw them.
Was he up to no
Do it.
good?
Is that
None of
Steve
the
Bannon?
animals moved. But Mischief looked so thin and hungry that Grumbles decided to offer him a sweet potato that Ringtail had brought.
I don't eat that.
No one had ever
No one
Fox.
eats
Mischief
potatoes.
before.
Oh.
He was so surprised that he actually smiled.
And then he crapped
And the
himself.
animals of Cozy Valley smiled
His
back.
mouth connects flawlessly
After
to his
Mischief
nose.
gobbled up the sweet potato that Christmas morning,
Oh,
somehow he didn't feel like being
Looked like he
mischievous
ate it whole.
anymore. While they were all busy making
And that's
friends
probably a
and looking at the
fun journey.
gifts on the tree, the bluebird had hopped off Mrs. Beaver's tail.
Wow, Mom's tail looks
And they
really
saw him
interesting.
Hopping up to the very top of the tree. He had only one way to show his thankfulness.
he's gonna. Oh, I was gonna say something else is gonna come out the other end.
His bird call sounds a lot like a piccolo.
The animals were
No,
overjoyed.
Piccolo sound worse.
The bluebird was singing. The bluebird was singing. Now they knew he was getting well.
Soon
And
it will be
bluebird
time for the
sang
blood
as
orgy.
No bluebird
Yep.
had ever sung before. His song was filled with the love he felt for all the animals. The same love which the animals had given him. And that was the story my grandfather used to tell me. His story of how the animals of Cozy Valley discovered the joy
Your grandfather
of making
sucked.
others happy.
Was this a
at
story to like
Christmas.
lull you to sleep out of boringness?
Exactly how much ecstasy was Grandpa taking at the time? Because
Yeah. I think he might have been on like Alzheimer's medication or something. Some sort of antipsychotic.
Coronet Films is the only film studio that has not been bought out by Disney because Disney doesn't want them.
You know, I was just kidding with the South Park stuff.
Somebody tune them.
just
Oh,
like Christmas twerking, is that what this is?
is that a
Hey.
So, I right now,
What is this?
or have I gone insane?
Oh, for a second there, I thought they were armless. Armless.
Oh, that makes you feel better now that you know that they have hands.
That's the
Key change.
More Cornet Films. The Littlest Angel.
Yeah, the Calliope.
Just wow.
It's riveting so far. They should really be playing Stairway to Heaven right now.
You stole my joke.
Once upon a time, oh, many, many years ago, as time is calculated by men, there was in paradise a most miserable, thoroughly unhappy, and utterly dejected cherub, who was known throughout heaven as the littlest angel.
Sounds like heaven sucks. I mean, they can't even please one poor little kid.
He was exactly 4 years, 6 months, 5 days, 7 hours, and 42 minutes of age when he presented
Peter's
himself
eight.
to the venerable for entrance to the glorious kingdom of God. Standing defiantly,
So the
with
angel
short brown
isn't in the
legs
kingdom of
wide
God
apart,
yet?
It's just
the
sitting
littlest
outside.
angel tried to pretend that he
I guess
wasn't
it's
at all
like Catholic
afraid.
and they have purgatory or
But his
something.
lower lip trembled, and a tear disgraced him by rolling down to the very tip of his small, freckled nose.
Disgraced him.
But that wasn't all. While the kindly gatekeeper was entering the name in his great book, the littlest angel, having
His
left
name?
home as usual without a hand,
What happens when a smaller angel
endeavored
comes
to
along? Is he
hide
gonna have
the
to change his
telltale
name?
evidence by snuffing,
A second littlest
which
angel?
so unnerved the good gatekeeper that he did something he had never done before in all eternity. He blotted the page.
You'd think to be able to afford a ballpoint pen for the guy.
From that moment on, the littlest
some
angel
whiteout or
became the
something, I
despair of all the heavenly hosts.
Quit harping on it.
Whenever the heavenly choir held singing practice,
Oh, the birds are
he
back.
inevitably spoiled its ethereal effect by singing off-key.
He's forward. Break.
Yeah, jeez.
And at nightly prayers, the littlest angel always arrived late, knocking everyone's wings askew as he darted into his place.
Really?
It seems like it's a big problem.
Besides, the general appearance of the littlest angel was even worse than his deportment. It was
getting
whispered
dirty
among
up
the
there.
Looks
seraphim
like
and
K-Mac.
cherubim that he didn't even look like an angel. And they were quite correct.
What? With
He
the
did.
wings and all the stuff? Just
For
wasn't
one
a
thing,
clue?
He was always running, holding
Or the
onto
name.
his halo with one hot, chubby little hand, which made his halo permanently tarnished.
Why does the narrator
Furthermore,
hate this kid?
even when he stood very still,
What in heaven
It
would
never
be there to
behaved
make
as
him
a halo
dirty in the
should.
first place? He's
he
in
was always
heaven.
slipping down over his right eye, or over his left eye. Yes, and it must be here recorded
Levitation is hard.
that his wings were neither useful nor ornamental. Everyone in paradise held his breath when the littlest angel perched himself like an unhappy fledgling sparrow and prepared to take
Up
off.
there.
He would teeter
This
this
guy
way
uses way too many
and
adjectives.
that way, and then finally he would shut his eyes,
He's got paid by
hold his freckled
Son.
nose, and hurl himself slowly into
The littlest
space.
lemming.
However, owing to the regrettable fact that he always forgot to move his wings, the littlest angel always fell head over halo.
Except his halo was
Now,
On top of it.
anyone can easily understand why the littlest angel would have to be disciplined.
What?
And
He's
so, on
4!
an eternal day,
No.
here eternal,
at 42
directed
minutes.
by a cherub to present
Wait.
his small self before an
Maybe
angel
he's.
of the
If
peace.
someone could teach him, is there like
And
school or
then,
something you can go
with a heavy
to?
heart,
Wouldn't you punish
trudged
him? It's
his
not
way
like he
to
just
the place
knows
of
what to
judgment.
do.
As he slowly approached the great doorway, he was surprised to hear a merry voice singing.
Mary? Sounds like a funeral. I mean, really.
The littlest angel breathed upon his halo, then polished it upon his almost clean robe,
Kind of breezed through
and
it.
then tiptoed in.
I think it would just be
The
automatically
singer,
clean.
who is known as the understanding angel, looked down
Morgan
at the
Freeman.
small culprit, and the littlest angel instantly tried to make himself invisible, very much like a snapping turtle. At that, the singer laughed
Work.
and said, "Oh, so you're the one who's been making heaven so unheavenly. Come here, cherub, and tell me all about it." The littlest angel ventured a furtive look. First one eye, and then the other eye.
Then
I
the other.
the film out.
Suddenly, almost before he knew it, he was explaining how very difficult it was for a boy who suddenly finds himself transformed into an angel. Yes,
Yeah.
said the understanding angel.
So, is this like a
What was
4-year-old
this
child who
talk about
died?
swinging on the
Yeah, I
golden
think so.
gate?
Yes. Which also begs the question: why aren't
He
there
had,
other
you recall,
children
swung once,
there?
Clearly he can't be
Well-
the littlest then. I mean,
twice.
what about all those aborted
Yes.
fetuses that must be
Oh,
crawling
all right
around?
then.
I mean,
He'd swung 3 times on the
they're
golden
people,
gate.
right?
But that was just for something to do. That was the whole trouble. There wasn't anything for a small angel to do. And he was very homesick.
This,
Oh, not
this,
that paradise wasn't
this is-
beautiful.
this does not
But the earth
paint a
was
very
beautiful,
flattering
too.
picture of heaven.
Wasn't it created by
Right.
God
There's just
himself?
nothing to do, and
Why, said the littlest
if you're at
angel,
the least bit
there were
different,
trees
they're
to
like,
climb,
sit down, sit down.
and brooks to fish, and caves to play at pirate chief, and the swimming hole, and sun, and rain,
I'd put money on the
Dark.
swimming hole as being
and dawn.
where the accident happened that got him
And
to
the
head.
wet brown dust, so soft and warm beneath.
Ooh.
The understanding angel smiled.
Tried to catch too big a fish.
Understanding smile.
Pulled in.
Then he asked the littlest angel what would make him most happy in paradise. The
Oh,
cherub
yes.
thought for a moment and whispered in his ear, "There's a box. I left it under my bed back home. If
What's in the
only I
box?
could have that.
What's in the box?
You shall have it," he promised. And at once
Is the box bigger on the
he
inside?
dispatched fleet-winged heavenly messengers to bring the box from Earth to paradise.
Wee.
And then, in all those timeless days that followed, everyone wondered at the great
Timeless.
change in the littlest
Isn't
angel.
that a paradox?
Among
Timeless
all the
eternity?
cherubs in God's kingdom,
Okay.
he was the most
See, there are more of them.
His conduct
Oh, yeah,
was
there they are.
above the
See, what-
slightest reproach.
They're smaller than he
His halo
is.
was
Hey.
always on straight. His robe was clean. And on excursions to Elysian fields, it could be said, and truly said,
Elysian.
that he flew
Okay, now we're getting to Greek.
like an angel.
Yeah, I think they're operating under a
Then
different
it came
theology.
to pass that glorious tidings spread through paradise. Jesus, the Son of God, was to be born
Apparently
of
in a
Mary
UFO.
in Bethlehem. The angels rejoiced, and their voices were lifted to herald the coming of the Christ child. The angels and archangels, the seraphim and cherubim, the gatekeeper, the wingmaker, yes, and even the halo smith, put aside their usual tasks to prepare their gifts for the blessed infant. All but the
A lot of little
littlest
pearl
angel.
strings.
He sat himself
Well, you
down
know,
on the topmost step of the
Is
golden
it really
stairs.
appropriate to give a baby infinite anal beads for Christmas? I
Oh
mean,
my
God.
just seems
First,
just very
he
wrong to
dreamed
me.
of
I'm just
composing a
saying.
lyric hymn of adoration.
Should this be
Apparently.
over?
But the littlest
Heaven
angel
uses
was
the same
woefully wanting in musical
Musical notation as humans.
Then he thought of writing a
Oh,
prayer,
of course.
but the littlest
They also write
angel
in
was
English,
lamentably
you know.
lacking in literary
Yeah.
skill.
Yeah, that was around back then,
What?
right?
Oh,
Well, they started
what
out by
could a
like saying
small
time is
angel
measured
give
by
that would
humans,
please the
and
Lord?
then they're just
Then
writing out
suddenly,
64 minutes in
The
heaven.
littlest angel had an idea.
What's
a
that in
wonderful
forever?
idea for a gift.
In forever minutes.
And so, on that day of days, the birthday of the Christ child, the littlest angel proudly brought his gift from its hiding place behind a cloud, and humbly
It's a
placed
dick
it
in a
before
box.
the throne of God.
Oh,
What?
It was only a little box, a small, rough, unsightly box,
look at all the gold stars.
lying among all those other
Lying
glorious
around
gifts
and-
from all the angels of paradise.
Like a elementary school exploded.
Gifts of such breathless beauty that heaven
Heaven
and
is just
all
a
the
giant
universe
pile of glitter.
were lighted by the
That's
mere
pretty much it.
reflection of their glory. And when the littlest angel saw this, He knew that his gift to God's child was a shabby gift indeed. He devoutly wished he might reclaim it. It was ugly. It was worthless. If only he could hide it from the sight of God before it was even noticed.
I don't think you can do that. I mean,
You can't.
It's
He's
That's not how that works.
The hand
No.
of God moved
Yeah.
over all that bright array of shining gifts, then paused, then dropped, then came to rest on the lowly
Yoink!
gift of the littlest angel. And what was his gift to the blessed infant? Well,
They're all
there was
twin.
a butterfly with golden wings, captured one bright summer day, and a sky blue egg from a bird's nest in the apple tree
they're
that
like
shaded
dead
his
things.
mother's
There are
kitchen
dead
door.
things in the box.
The
Yes,
littlest angel
two
was a
white
psychopath
stones
before he died.
found on a muddy riverbank.
Is that like a tongue
And at
with
the
a
bottom
hole
of
in
the
it?
box,
What is that?
the limp and tooth-marked leather
that
collar
belt?
of his faithful
Is this
mongrel
Hoarder's
dog.
Angel Edition?
The littlest angel wept hot, bitter tears. For now he knew that instead of honoring the Son of
Bitter
God,
tears.
he had been most blasphemous. Why had he ever thought that such utterly useless things would be loved by the blessed infant?
My God,
don't know.
kill him right
Terror,
now.
He turned to run and hide from the divine wrath of the Heavenly Father.
I-
But he stumbled
yeah,
and
that
fell.
doesn't.
Boy out of
With
the
a
jungle.
horrified wail and clatter of halo, rolled to the very foot of the heavenly throne. All
Wait, how did he get? He
celestial
ran
cities,
away, and then he came.
There was an
Oh,
ominous and dreadful
God
silence,
powers.
except for the heartbroken.
There are birds in
sobbing
heaven?
little
yeah, how did he get
angel.
in there? Someone just closed the door, you know.
Yeah, birds of
Suddenly,
paradise.
The voice of God
They were in the
rose
box.
and swelled through paradise.
They can't
saying,
get their eggs.
Of all the gifts of all the angels, I find that this small box pleases me most. Its contents are of the earth and of men,
Get this.
and my son is born to be king of both. I accept this gift in the name of the child Jesus, born of Mary this
Yes, I'm
night
going to
in
take the
Bethlehem.
most precious thing in the world from you. The only thing that made you happy, I'm going to take that.
Then the rough, unsightly box of the littlest angel began to glow with a bright, unearthly light.
He's going to set it on
Then the light
fire.
became a flame, and the flame became a radiant brilliance. None but the littlest angel saw it rise from its place before the throne of God.
No, I see it. It's right there.
And
I wish I could just disintegrate the gifts I didn't like at Christmas.
watched it arch the firmament high above the earth. To shed
It's funny.
its
Like, yo,
beckoning
no,
light
no,
over
no,
a
this is a
stable
great
where a
gift.
child was
Burn.
born. There it shone on that night of miracles, and its light was reflected deep in the heart of all
It's for giving me
mankind.
socks, Grandma.
And on the earth, men of goodwill, blinded by its splendor, could never know that the lowly gift of the littlest angel was what they would call forever the shining star of Bethlehem.
That poor kid. That poor kid. Oh, that.
Thank goodness.
What tradition God is that based off of?
I don't know, one of the, you know. He's back. Oh, we don't.
Why so serious?
He has no face. He has no face.
Perhaps it's for the best. Was this Flight of the Bumblebee? Ooh.
Okay. No, I'm just.
Okay, I want to go home now.
I need an adult.
Take it, stop.
Oh. Okay. Oh.
Who makes this?
Why?
What do you bet these are all painted with lead paint? How many children died for these toys?
All of them.
Does that alligator have a seizure?
It's going. It's much smaller now.
Robots! The robots!
Batman versus Superman.
You know what? I'll give you that.
More coherent plot too.
That does actually make me feel better. Oh!
A Christmas.
Okay, what's this?
This is a film made in Russia, 1959. Original
Copy.
music composed and conducted by Nikolsky. Produced by
Good to
Martin
have
Gilbert.
propaganda from Homeland.
Once upon a Christmas in Moscow, Russia, there lived a little boy named Kolya. He always loved the Christmas season. It was the time of year when people were happy, and trees were decorated with many beautiful ornaments. This year was different for Kolya. As he looked at all the pretty decorations on the Christmas tree, he thought of his father who worked as a
thing that
weatherman
matters.
in faraway Antarctica. Kolya knew that in the land at the bottom of the world there were no trees
all
to
that I-
decorate, nothing but ice and snow.
If only there was some way Daddy could have a Christmas tree.
Why, Christmas just isn't
Newsflash,
Christmas
no
without a
trees
tree
down in
and all the
Antarctica.
ornaments. Yes, if only there was a way Kolya could be sure his daddy would have a tree for Christmas.
If only there was a way. If only.
Well, there isn't, so good night.
I love that thick Russian accent the kid has.
Oh,
What?
That starfish?
Surfboard?
I think Santa actually stole Wonder Woman's statue.
Yeah.
Hey, taxi!
Hop in.
Thank you.
You're obviously underage and can't pay me.
Antarctica, please.
Where? Why, that's at the South Pole, isn't it?
It'll be the greatest fair I've ever had.
Take my friend to this tree.
I wish I could help you. I don't have enough gas. Say, look, there's someone who can help. That's Santa Claus.
Wait, what?
Kolya looked up into the
He
clear
just
night
sings them.
sky
Okay.
and saw Santa Claus
lives there.
moving about in his star-studded jet.
Santa Claus needs to work on
It streaked
stealth.
across the sky, brighter than any comet.
Yeah. When Santa goes to Russia, a lot less subtle.
Hey, Santa Claus, hello.
Merry Christmas, Kolya. Now, what would you like this year? A mechanical toy, or how about a big television set?
Santa.
How about would you like to get in line for Brett now?
You'd like to take him that Christmas tree. Well, you take my plane, but you must reach your daddy in Antarctica.
I'm not
before the
using
clock
it.
strikes
Just
12,
Give the
or
plane.
else.
Just give the plane to him. I'm
When
sure
the
it's
clock strikes the first
He knows how to
time,
fly.
climb aboard the Star Shooter and take off. Stop for nothing. That's a mighty long trip. It could be hard to do. Just keep going, for with the last chime
Can
at
you
12,
go? Can you
the
go with me,
Christmas
Santa?
magic
Because
will
I
stop.
don't know how to fly that.
Understand, Santa,
Okay.
but what do
Nope,
I
nope,
do?
we're just gonna put you in there. You're just gonna go. Here you go. Yeah.
Hit the Big Dipper. Keep going
Go screw
south,
yourself. Yeah,
and
go in the
remember,
plane.
you
Go.
must be there before the 12th chime.
Is this like a monkey's paw kind of a thing? You know, be careful what you wish for.
Goodbye now.
I mean, it seems weird, but isn't this the opening to Superman?
Yes, there's no time to lose.
All right, I'll do as you say. Thank you, Santa. Bye. I'm off, Santa.
Let's
This
go,
is like a
driver.
metaphor for
I've got
suicide
more
or
work
something.
to do.
What just happened?
Off Kolya went.
Santa's using a
The
taxi.
magic of Santa's Starship.
Because why
He
not?
clutched his decorated tree, his heart pounding
Christmas
with
is coming later this year.
very determined to reach Antarctica before the last chime.
Santa didn't say anything about dancing ghosts.
Oh my God! I'm scared.
Second chime. and
I can
Kolya
see my
was
house from
approaching
here.
Italy.
I can hardly believe it. It's beautiful.
Why is he going to Italy?
The sky lit up with magnificent fireworks in celebration.
I don't think he knows where he's going.
No,
There was
he
so much
doesn't know where he's going because
And then
look, he's
Kolya
traveling
grew
like
very warm.
east.
Phew, we must be going over Africa. Ooh, it's a long way down.
Because this high
And
up,
as Kolya looked below,
Temperature
a horrifying
is
sight caught his eyes.
the same
A
as
sandstorm
on land.
swirled angrily from the ground. The fierce wind whipped round and round.
Well, it didn't swirl happily.
chime sounded, the violent wind surrounded the star-studded ship
Santa better have had insurance for this. Sandstorm
and
insurance.
crumbled it like
Kidding me?
stardust.
No way.
There goes Christmas.
Kolya clung to
Dead.
his Christmas tree with all his might.
Because Christmas trees work as umbrellas.
No way. No movie, no.
Nope. Meanwhile,
I
those
just can't wait to be lunch.
oh yeah, those desert lions.
I don't remember this episode of Kimber the White Lion.
Gee, thanks, Santa. I really appreciate that.
What can I do?
You could have just told me no.
It builds character, and that's the best of all.
Oh! Stop, I say!
Please don't
What?
eat me, Mr. Lion. I don't taste.
That works every time.
I wouldn't eat a little boy. I have children of my own. I just want to know where you got your pretty Christmas tree.
Not how it works.
My home in Russia.
Not even
that's
phased that
where.
he's talking. He's just.
I've been running all over Africa looking for one.
So is this
What
where
a waste
Aslan
of
went for
time.
retirement?
Oh, I'd give you this one, but I can't because I want to take it to my daddy in Antarctica. It's for Christmas. It's a big pie. Oh,
I thought it was for Easter.
Oh, quick! Which way is the South Pole?
Antarctica.
Let me see. Bless my stars, I do remember. It's that way. Go straight.
Oh, that's
then
handy.
turn
The
right.
stars just turn into a compass. That's
But I don't think I can
science.
go fast enough. You
Just
go
just
fast
lion
enough.
powers, you don't know.
Could you?
Give you a ride? Why, sure, Sonny. Hold on tight.
Okay, this is taking a weird turn at this point. Okay, so you went from a magical sparkling jet to running on a lion's back.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Honestly, it gets
Steven
more
Universe.
realistic.
Whoops! I don't do well in water. Boys, stop monkeying around and build a raft for this lad. He's got to reach Antarctica immediately.
Screw you. We ain't doing nothing.
We're friggin' monkeys! Why no one listen to you?
Service, lad.
We can build a raft.
Antarctica.
Build a raft if we want to.
Just waiting around. You're just a lion
Still
slave.
clutching his tree as the seventh
Build the
chime
least
sounded,
useful
Cole
nautical
stood
device.
bravely on his raft. When a huge wave swelled, his raft fell apart.
We're really trying to kill this kid, aren't we?
At least it's realistic with the raft.
Quality craftsmanship.
Wait a minute.
little boy get way out here.
Oh, I'm on my way to
Fish on
Antarctica.
friends.
Fine.
Can you hear me? Oh, Mr. Whale, could you help me get to Antarctica, Mr. Whale?
Can you hear me?
I've got to hurry, please.
Weren't the chimes supposed to be a deadline for the magical jet?
Yeah.
It's been destroyed, so why is he still worried about the chimes?
How fast is he traveling for the chimes of the clock to be like
I know.
it's apart?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Once ashore, Kolya trudged onward even though a snowstorm almost broke his last hopes.
My dad's
bad he
not
doesn't know
afraid
his
of
father's
snowstorms,
dead. He's
so
taken
I
up by
won't be
thing.
either.
When he's going to be too.
My father was afraid of hypothermia, though, so.
Oops.
Oh, frozen icebergs. What kind of a bird are you? Oh,
I know, Bird.
Yibbidi-bidi, that's all, folks.
And I'm looking for my father.
oh boy. Oh my goodness. I'm a penguin.
Oh, boy.
Very interesting.
He took a wrong turn
The
in
tail
Albuquerque.
giant. Oh, please. Where's the weather station?
Cla.
The what? The weather station? Oh, I'm glad you're a boy. I'm a penguin. Are you sure? Oh, you're the son of the weatherman at the camp. I thought you were.
I'm kind of freezing to death here. Can you hurry it up?
We do. See, we all look alike. We always have looked alike. Never saw anything before like it. We always look alike. Yes, we do.
Starting to feel warm. I don't think it's a good sign.
It's like quicksand. He's getting deeper and deeper into the snow.
Oh, he's already deep into it, trust me.
That penguin is a real bad actor.
We'll have to hurry or I'll be late.
We'll help you then. Come on, everybody.
That tree would be completely straight by now.
There's still ornaments on the tree. Like,
Are they soldered on?
I don't remember this scene in Happy Feet.
Oh, there it is. Too late. Too late.
Kolya Kolya was frozen
Wait
with
for what?
disappointment. He
You're
couldn't go
there.
any further.
What? Why?
Oh,
What?
Oh no, you did not just
Oh,
you did
yeah.
not just dream us. Hey, bad movie.
Here's a cable for you from Antarctica.
oh, Antarctica. Oh, thank you. It's from
Antarctica.
Dad. Mother, a cable from
Movie.
Daddy. Oh, Mother,
I don't
look,
care.
read it. Receive a big Christmas tree by plane
I
today.
could steal everything in
Merry
here.
Christmas, love.
I'm gonna.
Oh, Daddy,
I'm
this
gonna
is
report you to the authorities.
Hooray.
That's
That is
fine.
one
Merry
pretty little
Christmas.
boy.
And a Happy New Year, too.
See the guy from Monopoly? Let's broken buildings.
He's back.
4, 3, 2.
Shield your eyes.
Oh my word.
Okay, what?
Are we going back to the first short?
Nope, it's Pink Panther.
No, this is
Nope, that doesn't cut it.
okay. Now that just says you.
That's definitely the star of the show.
Get rid of that. That's not right.
I hate it when I put on the last point and then it starts in order. Oh. Thank you.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Yes.
It's sort of...
What?
Is my lord?
Okay.
He looks as freaked out as we did.
What is that ladder leaning on?
One branch of the tree.
Ah!
Why use a ladder when you can just jump?
He's the last man on Earth.
It's
Space.
actually better than some classic Doctor Who effects.
Hurts, but it's true. To the time vortex. Where does he put everything?
Does he want to get a real star?
This is
Okay, so are we sure that isn't the first one?
only put me.
He is supposed to be coming back for the Christmas special, but this is a different Christmas special.
Yeah, but that looks like the kind of thing he would build.
No, this is the prequel. This is what he was up. This is what he was up to.
This is William Hartnell before he just said, you know what, I'm gonna steal something. I'm gonna steal it from us.
The ladder's leaning on something this time.
It might be bigger on this.
Much smaller. Jeez, that's huge.
Okay, that looks nothing like what he pushed out. When is somebody going to tell him that the star he's looking at might just be light of a dead, exploded star from hundreds of years ago?
Or it's just like a satellite, and he's gonna just crash it with.
It's actually a terrible gift from a small angel. Boing.
Those must be like light years apart.
You could have just traveled right to it.
Apparently he doesn't need any atmosphere.
Oh,
Houston, we have a terrible short. Boing. That was easy.
Reasons.
think of anything.
Okay. That's not a great landing. Wait, he was just going down in the first one.
They edited out that other.
Couldn't be bothered. You can just carry a star now.
It's fine.
Why did it take you so much time designing that spaceship and then give up on the rest of the story?
A box. He went up to space for a box.
What's in the box?
It's like a homing pigeon.
Fecal science.
We just doomed the planet out to alien, and now they're going to come and kill us all because we tried to kidnap their leader.
Was this just playing a loop?
What? It's like, ah!
What's gonna haunt my dreams?
Hey, all you people who made this, you should be ashamed. Feel shame.
Welcome to It, the one-man show. Have you tried turning it off again?
And leaving it off.
Leave it off. Leave the room. Go cry in the corner. This is a lot of extra film too. Ever think of editing? You know, might want to.
No.
Oh, we're gonna show the whole thing. It's fine. We're gonna cut off. We're gonna cut off the like the beginning part. You know, we're not gonna show the whole beginning. We're gonna leave all that.